Today, we'll go through some of the most horrible punishments conceived by man, starting off with the terrible and working up to the stuff of nightmares. Number 5. The Judas Cradle. The Judas Cradle was a torture technique first incorporated in 16th century Spain. The Judas Cradle was a pyramid-shaped wooden device on which the unlucky resident was placed at the top of the pyramid. The victim's hands would be tied up in such a manner that the weight could not be shifted elsewhere. The victim's feet were also tied with each other with the goal of increasing pain whenever there was a movement of the feet. The pointy edge of the pyramid was slowly inserted into the anus or vaginal area of the victim, depends on what you identify as, and the torture would continue from a few hours to a few days. Sometimes a weight was added to the victim's legs, which increased the pain, but also resulted in a quicker death. Oh no, that's just no fun, right? No way they had resistance training in the Middle Ages. No pain, no gain, you feel me? Other times oil was put on the device, which then obviously increased the pain. Really puts another meaning to all up, and I'll be there in 5. Number 4. Lingchi. The Lingchi torture method, otherwise known as slow slicing or death by 1,000 cuts, was a method of torturous execution in China. The unlucky victim was tied to a post and bits of skin and limbs were gradually removed one by one, like horrific peeling of an orange. It's like whenever I eat a chocolate-coated ice cream and I only eat the outside first. You usually ended up with a final cut to the heart or decapitation to finish them off. So how would they be the judge of this? How long you reckon they went for? Like, did they go, okay bro, so you got, how many, 995 cuts, and you got 45 to go. Sorry bro, I can't let you go. This torture method was banned in the early 1900s, which is very late in human history, which is supposedly a couple years after Joe Biden was born. Number 3. The Brazen Ball. The Brazen Ball was a torture and execution method used by the ancient Greeks and Romans to punish their enemies. This life-size bull-shaped statue of brass or bronze was so hollow, victims were locked inside its stomach and roasted alive. Flute-like pipes would carry the victim's screams through the bull's nostrils, creating an animalistic-like music of screams, while the smoke of the scorched flesh billowed out as puffs of incense. I got nothing to say, this one just straight up sucks. I mean, they do actually all suck, what am I saying? Something to lighten the mood is that the inventor of the Brazen Ball, Perilos of Athens, was supposedly the first victim of the Brazen Ball, and it doesn't even stop there. The fellow who put Perilos in there in the first place wasn't the nicest guy, and he did it to a lot of people, and then, ironically, he ended up being overthrown and executed in the same thing. You can get a Brazen Ball, you get a Brazen Ball, you all get Brazen Balls. Number 2. Sacfism. Sacfism is an ancient Persian method of execution. It involves the victim being stripped and trapped between two small boats, one inverted on top of the other like a freaky meatball footlong at a subway, with limbs and heads sticking out. The victim would be fed and smeared with milk and honey, allowing them to fester and be devoured by insects and other vermin over time, so turning humans into fermented cheese. Damn. Supposedly, if you tried to be smart about it and tried to kill yourself via starvation, they would force feed you instead, and if you resisted, they would just prick your eyes out and feed you anyway. The victim was left there until they eventually passed away, in which would often take multiple weeks, rotting away slowly. Number 1. The Blood Eagle. The Blood Eagle method comes from Nordic legends of Viking executions. The unlucky fellow's back was slashed, so to give free rein to the ribs, which then were broken and twisted upwards to look like wings. Nice Fortnite back bling, bro. To rub salt in the wound, literally, salt was poured into the wound, and as a final blow, the lungs were pulled out and draped over the rib wings for extra effect. There are actually deep studies that have been conducted on Nordic history to debate how they were able to achieve this level of precision and brutality with the technology and tools available to them. It's not like they had a surgical cutting saw to bend all the ribs out like that, or medical scissors, or anesthetic. Wait, why would they need anesthetic? Am I dumb? Due to this, it is often debated whether this actually exists, but we just have to be grateful that our biggest problem in life is when you ask for decaf and your coffee comes back caffeinated in the morning. We are also able to live without the fear of randomly being turned into an art display if we step foot in the wrong person's land. Anyways, those were some of the most horrifying human punishments in history. Feel free to subscribe if you've gotten this far. No, you have to. I'm waiting. Okay, bye.